Story 1. 9:10, ready or not. Here I come, I shouted, and my voice echoed through our new Victorian mansion. And the childish giggling I heard reaffirmed my belief that my daughter's funeral had been an elaborate prank, played on me by my relatives. Story 2. His suit failed during his spacewalk. When we removed his helmet, we realized his body had turned to liquid. Story 3. Isn't it creepy when Alexa answers out of the blue, even though no one said anything? I was lying alone in my hospital bed when she said okay, shutting off oxygen now. Story 4. Finally, a town. I wheezed through a dry throat as I spotted a dusty clump of buildings in the distance and started crawling with all my might. When at long last I felt the shadow of a general store. Shelter. My sunburnt skin, I heard a hungry voice say, finally, meat. Story 5. They stabbed out my eyes, so I couldn't hurt anyone else. Their mistake was thinking I only had two. Story 6. She was the very image of beauty and perfection, the way she smiled and looked deep into my eyes. The pheromones stripped away my free will as her smile grew a little too wide and her extra limbs came out from under her dress. Story 7. At first, I thought it was going to be death by 1,000 cuts, but then they buried me neck deep beside an ancient, gnarled tree. As the first root tenderly pierced my skin, I realized the tree was starting its slow, merciless feast. Story 8. As a social media influencer, I always knew there was a risk of someone using AI to put my face on explicit content and distributing it. What I didn't expect was for my captors to record every assault and upload each one with a new face and a smile. Story 9. As the days passed in the summer heat, the smell inside the apartment intensified, alongside his hunger pangs. When police finally arrived with CPS, they quickly gave him a bottle, permanently cementing in his mind a link between the scent of death and feces, with the consumption of food that brought him from the brink. Story 10. My school is bringing back paddles, but first sent us home with sheets for our parents to sign, if they didn't want their kids subjected to that form of punishment. I'm the only one in class who didn't come back with signed copy. Story 11. He broke into my home with a knife, which I managed to wrangle from him and stab him in the jugular with it. I then ran out the door after cutting myself loose from the umbilical cord. Story 12. When my captor told me we could play one game of my choosing for my life, I immediately said poker. When he pulled the iron out of the fire, I realized I should have been more specific. Story 13. For the last time, I already checked under your bed, and there's nothing down there. The monster mocked while playing with my dad's jaw. Story 14. Newborn babies aren't supposed to have teeth, I noted as the cooing infant bit my finger. Newborn babies aren't supposed to have fangs, I exclaimed as she gripped my wrist and started eating my hand. Being banished to the rosebush fields seemed like a harsh punishment, but at least it's better than execution. Crawling through the thorny thicket, I noticed not a drop of blood, but as my consciousness waned, I could see the pink flowers taking on a deeper shade of red.